Good.
With England's next generation in white around him. The final audition for tour tickets is kicked off by George Ford into the mighty hands of Mikel Guillard, who wears 8 today for the first time in blue, deployed solely at second row throughout the Six Nations campaign. He's jumped ahead of Emmanuel Meafou, who is another monstrous man from France. And that is a pretty tidy exit, Berth.
Yep, on the tee.
Yeah, strong start from France. Straight from the restart, set up the pod to be able to clear out. Spoke earlier about actually wanting to keep the ball in play fast, but this gives England a nice platform to play from.
First sighting on the crash.
Still inside the 50.
And that is a beautifully judged kick, just slipped in behind the despairing Aliveretti Duigivalu. And a 50-22, almost within 60 seconds.
Yeah, brilliant setup play, really well spotted from George Ford. Obviously something that they wanted to recognise, to just pin France back in that corner. And Duigivalu just got pulled slightly out of position.
Straight off the top from England, and Spencer travels. He brings in Tom Roebuck, who scored here in a Premiership final a couple of years ago. Popped up to Spencer, who again drives the tempo forward to Atkinson. Back to his fly half. Feraboso, first touch, back in wide. Oh, but not scoring through heroic last-ditch defending.
Goal line drop out.
It was great double effort there. I think it's Grilla that manages to dislodge the ball there. It's great intent from England, isn't it? Being really direct, physical. And when the opportunity's on to shift to the outside channels,
Find the kicker.
Keeping the ball alive.
It was oh so nearly written for Manny Feraboso. George Ford, little control off the right boot and dished up to Tom Willis, whose stats for Saracens have been off the reservation this year in the Premiership. Ford steering England with his boot and putting some aerial pressure, and the battle of the skies is won by England. Oh, slip behind Ford, captain to captain, and Atkinson mops up the mess. Carpenter to his Sale teammate Roebuck. Baxter, soft hands, Ford to George, looking to spin through the hip from Slimani. It's a great read coming up from Nolan Le Garrec. And enough to force a penalty through holding on. England look dangerous.
Yeah, they've certainly come out the blocks, haven't they? Playing with pace, brilliant. Taking the air from Roebuck there. Just gets up and ahead. And then there's just this pass, just the connection piece, which you would expect given the time that they've had together. But brilliant steal over that ball. Just, you can see France are trying to fly, trying to come hard, trying to close any space down. And when you get caught behind the gain line, there's an opportunity to poach the ball.
6, back you go.
A first venture into the English half for the French. And Guillard showing his second row prowess on the leap at the front. A big, bruising mass of French bodies, and England have infiltrated it well, albeit illegally. Holly Davidson's arm is out,
Number 4.
and France will have the penalty.
That's certainly not what you want to do. You don't want to compound penalty on penalty. Giving France the extra yards, easy meters. I think it was Alex Coles there.
Just on the 5. I'll put England on the line. Line's going to be yours, guys. Number 4 up the side.
That's a modest touch finder,
You need to bind at the hindmost.
but one
7
to the doorstep
7 man.
of England's 22. Guyton Barlow the Castra hooker, has had an outstanding season. He's
in the 5.
a victim of living in the Malvaca Marchand era. Le Garrec, so too behind Dupont and Luku at the moment, getting sucked in to the mauling whirlpool, and again an English indiscretion. 3 on the bounce.
Again.
And in a moment, they're going to be defending from 5 metres out.
Slip your left hand.
Can I get clarity on this? What's wrong with 4?
So 4 in the first one is side entry.
Yeah.
Now he's changed his bind straight onto the ball carrier.
Just Holly Davison there explaining what she's seeing. They've got to change that picture, haven't they? Because now they find themselves in a really bit of bother.
Guys,
5 metres out. And they gifted all of this possession and territory to France. They haven't had to work for it. They've got to make sure they're squeaky clean here, because I'm sure the referee will be well aware of the last 2 infringements and what happens just outside the try line.
Plenty of movement, but Orlando targeted. Ballon tucked in, spinning, driving, reaching, and scoring for Les Bleus. Well, he's low on tries for a hooker as they go. Just 1 in his last 2 seasons, but that one will matter the most in blue.
Yeah, it's really well. Good patience from him, recognising that the rest of the pack are going down, but stays on his feet and drives over and gets the first bit of blood drawn here at the Allianz. But again, all of that came from the inaccuracies from England. The discipline at the breakdown and at the line out.
Nolan, Le Garrec. Shapes up to add another pair of points. It's a fine strike, but the flags aren't raised and England are spared just a couple of points, but they do trail 5-0.
Yeah, it'll be really frustrating, won't it, from England's point of view, but really well worked from France. See Le Garrec there. He'll be asking for a try assist on that one, directing his hooker towards the try line.
Orlando.
It's a tackle. Release.
Hoisted highest.
Inside.
And it has been very controlled from France.
Okay, now you use it.
First slice of possession. 3 penalties on the spin. And across the line for an early lead. Le Garrec finds the sanctuary of the touchline. And England will rebuild from a line out.
That's your mark.
Very basic, isn't it, from France, but all business, really. Getting themselves out of the danger zone.
Coles, a little inaccurate on the dot down to Spencer. Then George is wiped out. Good scrambling work from England, but being in reverse, Spencer can only go to 1 play, and that's off the left boot, which he executed to such aplomb in the Premiership final a week ago right here. Wonderful take from Mati Sogbe, who you remember scoring a brace against Wales on Six Nations debut only months ago. First time at full-back in blue. Astoy. Tight to the touchline, and a big charge as well from Mustat. But it is expertly watched.
Was good. Release, England, release.
And delivered safely, but turned over, and Le Garrec fizzes it as France look to go wide. Assis Sogbe, slippery, elusive, electrifying France. Oradu. Forwards and backs, all singing from the same French flair hymn sheet. And France have a second.
If you can check till the end, because if there is no try, I go on the ball.
Yeah, so we've...
What a brilliant try. All came from the kick. Just Carpenter does well in the air, but then he's isolated. First man's over on the ball, and then the transition. How many French players all in support? And great finish from Ouhadou into the corner.
Time off, please. Mikey, do we need to go formal on this?
Just stand by, Holly.
Thank you.
I'm just checking the grounding. I've not seen any blocking in the midfield.
Okay.
Well, Le Garrec will tee things up, but with the asterisks of the grounding being scrutinised in the back, but Mike Adamson
I can't see any blocking
says
in the midfield.
Okay, thank you.
all is good and well.
Time back on, try is good.
France have a dozen points with not even as many minutes played.
Jamie, you checked. It's clear.
You can see why they were potentially having a look at that. Fair with Bozo think and thought he had done enough.
A clinical edge being demonstrated by France in this opening 10 minutes. And such variety as well.
Okay, 9. Use it.
The maul followed by the break from Atisogbe, who I mentioned isn't accustomed to wearing 15. That's a foot in touch from Joe Carpenter. And another England error.
Yeah, you can see, look, obviously they're frustrated, just been under the post consistently 2 tries, and then want to get a bit of tempo, want to have the ball in hand, just tiptoed onto that white line.
We said before game we would give numbers. How many, guys? 5? 5, stay on your mark.
Off the top from France, Le Garrec to Ficou, who has been a defensive leader for France, revolutionised the way that their midfielders operated over the last few seasons. He's the most experienced Frenchman out there. Oradu, one of those wet behind the ears, but already showing his try-scoring class. Astoy, third in line to Ntamak and Jalibert. But with Toulouse in the top 14 final and Bordeaux in action later tonight, is it Astoy's time on tour in New Zealand? Good pressure from England. Forces the scrum to go their way, and the first sighting of the front rows locking horns.
Forward from the ball carrier. Yeah.
How exciting.
I knew you'd be bang up for that, Firth.
It's a really important part of our game, the scrum. But really good, again, aerially from France, just winning that aerial battle at the moment. But defensively, better there from England, recognise the threat, and then to get up in the passing channels and then force the error.
Well, jokes aside, you know, there's been some talk this week about England being on the cusp of a golden generation of props. Finn Baxter in there, 11 caps. He made his debut less than a year ago, and then you've got Afo for Sogbon, Ashra Poku for Jour waiting in the wings, Manny Iogan, Tarek Hafar. There is a real depth and richness to the front row pillars that England are bringing through. Whilst for France, you could argue that it's a potential problem area. Rabah Slimani right there in shot up against Baxter, playing for France for the first time in 2,071 days. He's had his career revived at Leinster, but Uni Antonio, he's injured. Aldeguerri, he's out with Toulouse. Georges-Henri Colombe is out of favour at La Rochelle, so two sides in different propping flux, in England getting just the ascendancy from the free kick on this first clinch.
Inside.
Well, that is heads-up rugby, isn't it? Doesn't get the good fortune of the bounce. And France will exit through a goal line dropout. Here's a late shift to full-back. Leo Barre injured on Thursday, so shifted to full-back, and Ali Veretti de Guivalu brought in on the wing. Bit of a surprise to see the Perpignan man out there in all truth, but no surprise to see Tom Willis being deployed like a cannonball, shot out at the French line. Some abrasive carrying, and Ezekwe delivering the same. England with a bit of momentum. Guy Pepper, player of the final last week in Bath's Premiership glory. Oh, beautiful line from Ted Hill. The Bath connection combining, and Faye Weboso again uncharacteristically spills, and France break in transition through to Guivalu.
Advantage over. Wait there, boys.
50-22, well and truly on, but it's a skidding kick that holds up. And Ford seeks the salvation of the touchline.
Nolan, just speak to the boys at the breakdown. Get them to roll out, okay? Okay. Time off. Yeah, blood.
It's unfortunate there for Faye Weboso. You could see him powering through the tackle.
Yeah, I'll get them.
Just couldn't quite hold on to it. You can see he's getting a bit of sticky spray put onto his hands now. It is really hot, naturally humid, sweating.
Take your time.
Well, we're taking a pause for an injury. There are going to be water breaks today, scheduled at 20 and 60 minutes. I don't know if this sort of constitutes an informal one, and whether that will we will have it halfway through this half.
Injuries cleared. He was the tackler, head to knee.
Okay, thanks, Mikey.
But it is for a head injury for one of France's bigger boys out there, being mummified out in the midfield, and a shot at the coaching group. Steve Borthwick, shorn of the many England players involved in the Lions. He's spoken, well, in our interviews and throughout the week, that he wants to see as many England players out there playing for the Lions as possible. He's not protectionist about his troops. And I'll tell you that Jack Van Poortvliet was spotted around Twickenham today. Full Lions stash. No, not, he had his bag, but he was showing off, definitely.
He'll come for you from that comment.
Okay, guys. Time back on.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Great competition, and Oradu just about beats Coles to it, but enough disruption is delivered from the Northampton Saint.
Great reactions there from Cole, just to get up and do enough. Provides England a platform off this scrum now. Obviously, free kick on that last scrum, so that'll be on the mind of the French. Seb Atkinson, he's had such a good season, hasn't he? Got an all-court game. It's exciting to see him in an England shirt and what he can do in that centre partnership with Henry Slade.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Use the ball. Straight across.
Well, the scrum chews itself up somewhat, so we get a reset as Spencer waits patiently. Some week he's had. I wonder what the heads are like on the Bath boys. The celebrations look like they went hard. Not quite as hard as Alfie Barbary, but
Crouch. Bind. Set.
minor blindside threat, but a penalty advantage in the back pocket of England, and Slade arrives on the ball and drifts to deliver to Carpenter. Now the burst down the short side. Boboso looping one from half-back.
No advantage. Yep.
And England come back for that penalty.
Well, compared to the scrum beforehand that you described as getting chewed up, much more steady, stable there from England, just holding the body weight there.
Familiar sight. Henry Slade shaping up with that sweet left boot of his to chew off as big a chunk of the touchline as possible. Maybe not his best there.
On you guys. How many?
But for him, this game and the tour to Argentina, an opportunity to get back on the horse as well. Fell out of favour the back end of the Six Nations. It's been a trying year down in Devon. And he's wrapping round, but he doesn't get it. Instead, it is a thunderbolt. Brilliant defence from France as George deploys a little bit of footwork to find a softer French shoulder. Willis, at first receiver, muscling through. Ford, crossfield bomb. Ted Hill in pursuit. It's going to be a big leap, but LeGarrett's a match. Taps and he was away if it hadn't already been penalty advantage.
Number 12, not rolling.
Yeah, fair play to LeGarrette. Half the size of Roy Buck. But just again, recognising the momentum. What a quality carry there from Willis. He's so physical, as you already mentioned. The stats from the Premiership this year, the amount of carries and work that he gets through, the defenders that he's beaten. Great work from LeGarrette. A much better line-out set piece from England. Big opportunity here for them.
Well, the sound of the Allianz Stadium tells us that this is England's finest attacking platform so far. Coles to claim.
That's one.
George
In the 5.
in the armchair. Little momentum for England, so they'll be forced to go to the backs. Boboso rides out of the challenge and goes back for more. Pistons bumping, more penalty advantage for England as big bruising carriers come round the corner. No one at home for George Ford.
Offside.
But again, England with that insurance policy.
Number 12, offside.
Yeah, Ficou penalised there. But initially, France did really well to stop the driving maul. Boboso just seems to be able to beat the first defender every time. Slips through, starts the momentum for England. And just that connection from George Ford and outside shoulders, just not quite clicking yet.
How many, guys? 5? 5.
Take two for England and Ezekwe. This time the target, and England
Wait.
again looking to drop it into the low ratio gears.
Use the ball. Use it.
Boboso, this time the decoy, and Atkinson shows that he's a match of the carry. Spencer on the plunge. Inches short.
Advantage.
The penalty stacking up against France.
Not rolling.
Ball squirms free. Surely a conversation coming the way of the French.
He's on the line.
Jamie George tries to catch the French napping. Willis, periscope up, opts to move right. Drives through. Is he held up by Ficou?
That's held up. Nope.
I think that warning's going to be coming now.
Yeah, but there's too many penalties around this area, okay? Discipline. Good. Time back on.
England will tap. George will go. Still battling in close quarters. A little bit more width offered this time. Spencer burrowing with urgency.
Okay.
But the French hold firm. Closer England go. Ted Hill dropped in an instant. But eventually, the French resolve is broken. And it is the Saracen, it is the number 8, it is Tom Willis.
The French were holding him out. The double tackles coming in, but the work rate from Willis round the corner and the last inch of fighting to get over on the white line. England been knocking and knocking. Recognises a mismatch there with Legaret. Manages to get over.
TMO's cleared everything, okay? Yeah, more time off. T is good.
Boy, have France made England work for those opening points. And now Ford with 414 already in white. Adds another pair to his personal career tally. England to within 5. And it's time for a water break and a bit of a breather after a relentless first 24 minutes or so, Berth.
Yeah, you can see out there the ice towels. Just trying to cool the players down. It has been a fast and frantic first 25 opening minutes. Actually gone over on the water break because that last passage of play, but much better there from England in the last 5-6 minutes, being real tightness about them, togetherness, recognising where the opportunities might be. The physicality's taken up another notch as soon as they get into that 22.
Anything else? It feels tight to
the French defence
set the lineouts up when they're
been
going
impressive,
so
as they always are, aren't they? There's no shortage of the French attitude in defence when Sean Edwards is your coach.
Well, that score felt really quite crucial for England. France have been ruthless. Every entry to the 22 has yielded points. This is the first through the driving maul, and Gaetan Barlow. And England, they've shown a bit of expanse. Some enterprising play, a few crossfield kicks, but there ain't no school like the old school, is there? Up the jumper, point-blank range. And Tom Willis has been one of the bright lights for England in this first quarter or so, and rewarded with the try after the pick and drive from Hill.
Double efforts from him, involved in a number of carries.
Like, there's not been a stable platform yet, okay? Yeah, just not on our one, yeah. Yeah, just out. Sam, did you speak to Gael? Okay, perfect, thank you. Do I take off? Okay, time back on.
La Rochelle's Antoine Astoy kicks long into the arms of, well, of all of England's 15, the man you least want catching it, Tom Willis. Takes some customary meters. You do feel that that number 8 jersey is very much up for grabs in English terms. Don Brown on the bench, Earl away on the Lions. And England with a little bit of imprecision in the hands again. Spencer spots an opportunity cross-field against the grain, needs a kind bounce but doesn't get one. Atisogbe loves running at broken field. We've already seen him create for Oradu. And it's just by a tightly clenched fist round a shoelace, he's dragged down within his 22. Ford on hand alongside Carpenter. Sales Mr. Dependable.
6, don't trap him.
Coles, who was a tour de force in that losing cause in Cardiff for the Saints in the final. Astoy crunched on reception.
Yes, France.
And there is a coolness, a calmness to the way that France
not now, you're round the side.
are navigating their way around the field.
Yes, 9, use it.
Le Garec looking for a bit of additional scaffolding on the ruck. And Carpenter again encouraged to counter. Gia chasing hard. Hill, Ford, Slade, a gift. And an audible sigh of relief from the Exeter chief.
Offside.
So are they on the warning in general, or are they just
In the 22.
Big sigh of relief there. Henry Slade trying to release his outside man. Fortunately coming back for an offside, but France are playing really well in terms of their composure. They're not forcing anything. We've obviously talk about Jouet moving the ball around, offloading a lot, but they're being really composed, being really mature in their play so far.
Slade makes more than amends with a fine touch finder that puts England position A in the French 22 once more. And just the sense of momentum shifting. Atkinson injected into the line, takes a huge amount of meters, jagged back to the right. Coles won't be denied. He loves scoring on the big stage, does Alex Coles. A brace at Cardiff in the European Cup final, and now one at HQ with a rose on his chest.
There's a lovely little change of play off the line out. France getting ready for the driving maul again, but they play away. Great carry from Atkinson, gets them inches from the try line, and then the lovely deception there, ball out the back to hit Coles. Really, really good start after this water break from England.
Well, Ford splays it to the right of the upright, and we are a dozen apiece. England have clawed their way back from an early deficit, and the waves of white beginning to crack the French defence. Cartier was out there in the middle in the captain's run yesterday. He's a very firm referee, I can tell you, having watched the way that he marshalled that.
Yes,
and it was a pretty lively captain's run too as well. Arrived yesterday and had to battle the West London traffic in the heat to get here.
Yep.
Ben Spencer circumnavigates all the French traffic via his left boot. And France
On the line, yeah. Thank you.
They'll throw in the English half, and
On the line.
having dominated the early exchanges, it's they who need a bit of time on the ball now, isn't it? And they ain't hanging around either. Tyler Duguid, the Canadian. Oh, picked off by Pepper. Joe Hayes, surely not. Joe Hayes from 40 metres almost. Popped, picked off by Atisogbe. Harem-scarum stuff. Ford better hit the jets because he's being hunted down. He's got no support. But Atkinson arrives. And the danger is averted. The game breaking up to the delight of those at the Allianz. And Atisogbe with a partially sliced kick, but about 35,000 denied an incredible Joe Hayes moment.
Yeah, I think we need a slow replay of that, of how Pepper that manages to get the ball. For all money, it looked like Hayes was going to be in, but last-ditch tackle there. And then Atisogbe just gets in the right channel.
Put you in.
England's beginning to play with a real bit of zip. And that is a devil of a crossfield for Roebuck to get after.
Captain, scrum or line it?
And it's a judge to have gone forward off the sailman.
Melee?
Atisogbe's getting a bit of aerial treatment, but he's stood up pretty well so far.
Yeah, for somebody who potentially hasn't played a lot at fullback, he's marshalling the backfield, getting himself in the right places, and he's giving Roebuck a contest for certain.
Okay, we all need to get a good, stable platform, yeah? In, set, hold. The break foot is not an issue.
Angle adjust this one. Yes, Becky! Squeeze face! Squeeze face! Down!
Crouch!
Either one.
Over leaning. You did, you're really far forward. 10. On the 5, thank you. Hold.
Well, Roebuck does himself a couple of times and then sends a thunderbolt off the right boot. Astoy is there, and so too Atisogbe. But this one's going to come down with cloud wrists on, and Atisogbe had more time than he knew because he could have taken it cleanly. Instead, he went volleyball style. And now Faye Weboso is free. I think that he was the only person at Twickenham who wanted to kick that, and that is an ugly and really out of control challenge from Faye Weboso. And that may be the last we see of him.
Thanks, guys.
Doesn't look great, does it?
I've got it, okay? You don't need to come in like that. Yeah. TMO check, please, Mike.
Go ahead, Holly.
I want to check level of sanction on the high tackle by 11 England, please.
Okay, checking level of sanction against high tackle on England 11. Stand by.
Thank you.
Well, I think the realisation was immediate for Faye Weboso that he got it wrong there. And this is purely a case of what colour card, not if.
I'm seeing it as a rat, but it is foul play because it's high, meets our yellow card threshold. Mikey, do you agree with all those facts?
Yeah, I agree with those facts, Holly.
Okay, so it's going to be a yellow card against 11 and off-field review.
Agree.
Thank you. 11. 11. And off-field review. Yellow and off-field.
Such a challenging tackle, isn't it? You can just see that he hasn't got control of his feet there. He's desperately trying to get across to not allow Astoy to get away. But you've got to drop your body height, otherwise you're going to put yourself at risk.
Well, I think the yellow was never in doubt, was it? And it is there for review as well, so there could be further retribution for Feiwa Boso, who, as we heard before, champing at the bit to get out there. 6 months on the sideline in rehab club, the worst club in the world.
Okay, line's in.
And France now get to attack against 14 Englishmen. Antoine Astoy has dusted himself down. He's good to go, and he takes a back seat as his sizable pack make a dent towards the English 22. Le Gallet organises Barlow beyond him. The hooker buries his head into some white jerseys. Le Gallet on the travel. Ficou loses control,
no advantage,
but advantage was already France's.
Yeah, another infringement at the maul time. Just compounding errors, discipline for England. It's going to be really, really important that they hold their discipline. 14 players. It's hard enough playing at that heat, in this heat, at that tempo, with 15 on the field. It's going to be a critical 10 for England. Maintain their composure and their discipline.
Line's going to be yours, guys, on the line.
Well, it's just what France needed, wasn't it? Because England growing, stringing those back-to-back tries, achieving parity, but now all hands to the pump for the final 5 of this first 40.
Yes. Keep him at the front there, Ben.
Well, it doesn't go to Oradu. Duguid instead keeps his feet on the ground, but France get themselves in a tangle, and that is an opportunity spurned.
Yeah, obviously, miscommunication on the call there. Maybe not the right lift.
It's going to be on the 5,
and forces the error. Ezekwe in there, just trying to disrupt as much as possible.
Guys, hold that weight back. 4 and 5, hold the weight back.
The big men of the engine room, a shot of Kylian Ticheron, the Clermont blind side. One of those to get his first cap on tour in Argentina last summer. He'll be looking to increase his tally in New Zealand as France go for a tumultuous 3-test series against New Zealand, but they're going to have to sort their scrum out because it is England who are very much in the ascendancy right now.
Loose head collapse.
Yeah, I think that's twice now. Loose head's been called on.
Yeah, fine, thank you.
Astosio.
No, it's just here. Yeah.
Twice just losing his binding and collapsing. A big let-off for England. Allows them a minute to breathe, clear their lines.
Paulette, this line-out will discuss the yellow card decision.
Okay. Yeah, ready now, Mikey.
So it will be upgraded to a red card. It's a high degree of danger, direct contact to the head, and there's no mitigation.
Okay, time off. George. Time off, yeah. There's a decision back from the bunker. Yeah. It's going to be upgraded. It's a high degree of danger with no mitigation. 20-minute red card.
It is a sad return to England colours to the rugby field for Mani Feiwa Boso, as this challenge earns him a red card.
Yeah, obviously not what you want to see, but obviously they see it's a high degree of danger, just the lack of control going into that contact area. Real shame for him.
Do not trap him in. There's
First time back.
Okay, 9, use
for
it.
so long. 182 days. And now he'll watch on from the sidelines. England will have to re-steel themselves.
Yep.
And Ben Spencer will have to dip into all of his match management armoury, and that's almost a peach. Atisogbe is there as he has been dependably all game. His positional play has been outstanding.
And his work rate to get back there. George Ford and Ben Spencer recognising that bit of space in behind, trying to find the grass. On that occasion, just too much on it.
Stay behind, guys.
Doesn't look phased at all, does he? Atisobi in the backfield.
Spencer looks to steal through the fringes. England undeterred by their numerical disadvantage. Ford wiped out, but the pass enough to semi-unlock the French defence. They're down to 13 now because Spencer has worn one in the passage, so Jamie George steps in at scrum half. I bet he loves that. Slade elegantly drifts from a bit of depth, and George turns from scrum half to battering ram. Ford asks Roebuck to chase, asks Roebuck to rise, and Atisogbe can only knock on into the grip of Ted Hill.
Great clear out by Roebuck then.
Ford to Atkinson, and it's worked out beautifully. Ricocheted off the chest and still not down. England, have they scored? Finally, yes. Well, it is the most unorthodox, crazy try you'll see. Almost bench pressed by Atkinson. He didn't finish. Carpenter arrived like a cruise missile and pirouetted to the paint.
Atkinson did so well to hold on to that ball. Not like he's over the line there, but does so good to keep the ball alive. Good work from Carpenter, just recognising the Legarat. Shoulders are turned, coming across field for the desperation defence, and steps back inside and spins and gets over.
It's just there, George.
Ford adds the extras, and England, against all the odds, having trailed 12 points to nil in the early stages, leave the field with a 7-point lead, down to 14, because Manife Waboso has seen red. But they are up 7 points on the scoreboard. A first 40, full of drama, with 5 tries and a 15th contest in the balance. Much to ponder for both Steve Borthwick and Fabien Galtier in the half-time huddles in the bowels of the Allianz Stadium. But as the fans pour out of their seats for some well-earned refreshments, it is England 15-19, France 15-12 at half-time. Right, Berth, let's pick the bones out of this first 40 minutes. 5 tries, real pendulum swing, and France have been more clinical, but they haven't created as many opportunities. This was their fast start.
Yeah, England actually came out the blocks, didn't they? But the discipline allowed France that opportunity, and they absolutely took it. And then this was a masterclass of French rugby, the quick turnover, the transition. Atisobi And that missed tackle in the midfield from Atkinson just opens up the opportunities for all Hardu to go over. It was a really good start for them, but England did come back. Just banging at the door, using the physicality and the brute strength for the forward pack. And in the end, the double efforts from the forwards round the corner. And the French really did make them work for it in this area, but Willis in the end gets back up after his first carry and then recognises a mismatch there. Ticks it on a bit late to get round the corner, and then Willis gets his team back in the score.
England were getting a roll on at this stage, and Atkinson has carried supremely well, brought his form in cherry and white to the England jersey, and Coles and his try levelling things before the complexion of the game changed through this challenge, Beth.
Yeah, fair was Rebozo, just got it wrong, not got control in that tackle area. Obviously has led to a red card now, which potentially will pay some attention to what it's going to look like for his future at the Argentinian tour. But then Seb Atkinson, you already mentioned about his carrying ability through the middle, does so well to keep the ball alive, hold his composure and find Carpenter.
Well, everybody, I think you'll agree that we have a 15-match finally poised here and expectant. Everybody here at the Allianz for the second half, as should you. But the O2 Inside Line is bringing you the Rose, and the weekly docu-series following England Rugby return this week. So here is a snippet to give you a flavour of the full episode you can find on England Rugby's YouTube page.
The biggest thing for us on the lineman camp is getting players from clubs on the same page, aligned in thinking about how we play the game in a way, whilst closing the gap between Premiership and international rugby through physical demands and the intensity to require for the duration of those games, and just how we close those gaps are probably the two biggest things we've gone after as a coaching group and as a team. When change occurs, opportunity arises, and I think the thing for us there is players will be going away with the Lions or aren't available due to the finals and semi-finals, so it's provided us the opportunity to look at the group, the depth of the group of English players within the Premiership. It's provided other players to come in and have the opportunity to train at the level we're training at and put their case forward for selection. That's what you want as a programme, and as a coach you want players coming in and pushing players, and you want to be in that position where the Lions players do come back, the players around them are pushing for their positions, and it's hard for them to get back into the team, and then we're having selection headaches again.
Everyone lower your height half on it. There we go, Trey. There we go. Living in the abyss. So much.
England A has been huge for our player pathway and that transition into the senior team. I look over the last 2 years, and even from my positional group around front row, Finn Baxter, Joe Hayes, Curtis Langdon, they played against Portugal when it first came back into it, and then you obviously have Asher, who's been involved in it, Afo, who's been involved in it, George Klosker's been involved in it. So the list in terms of players who've been involved in that programme, it's been massive for us. And I think for them, the experience of even going and working, and I know Lee Blackett was involved within the A programme, so the continuity of the way we play in the A team into the first team, and that transition there has been smooth, and the idea of them having the exposure of one, the training and the way we want to play, and two, the opportunity to come together with different clubs and get aligned to play the same way.
A bit of an end-of-season summer party here, and the sax in full flow, and a pretty vibrant whistle as well. So you can catch the full episode of that on England Rugby's YouTube page, and make sure you're subscribed to get the latest episodes. And that's going to be key because the boys are off to Argentina and the United States on tour, so it'll give you all the BTS action and highlights. Now, let's hear from England head coach Steve Borthwick, who's been giving back to the community game for the Honda Volunteer Recognition Programme, heading down the Lensbury.
We're here today at the Lensbury in Teddington, where we have a group of players, 15 to 17-year-olds from Tiffin School, and we're doing a coaching session as part of a programme with Honda, where a group of coaches from around the country who coach grassroots are then here today, where we're doing a session with the players, and they're getting a chance to coach them now. How you doing? Good to see you again. You well? There's a couple of boys of trouble here. A couple of boys are real trouble. This first part of the session, I've been working on the support play of the players and their offloading skills. Go on, pass me the ball. And then I get to that middle, and what you're going to do, because I've got another support player there. Oh, brilliant. And it's world class, and we're joyous, and we're celebrating, yes? Guess what you can do?
Hopefully.
Okay, excellent. It's a beautiful day here today. So it's hot, and you have to work really hard, run very hard to be in support.
Yes, but look!
Love it! Oh, it's a try of the day! Oh, it's not! So it's challenging, but they've been absolutely terrific. One, yes, go back in the game. Beautiful. Get back behind him. What is your name? Stuart, your ability to get back in the support position was amazing. You went forward and then you went back. Boys, right, Stuart, round of applause. Stuart, yes. Yes, beautiful play! Any chance we get to help continue to grow our great game, and if we can help support coaches who help support the players at grassroots level that are coaching young boys and girls that are coming through our system, and hopefully we'll be wearing an England shirt, either the England men's team or as a Red Rose at some point in the future, it'd be absolutely terrific. Train tracks, you're on the train tracks. Yes, boys, that's wonderful, I'm loving it. Go, 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 go. Brilliant, you're already making a change. They are a wonderful group. You guys are awesome. Look at you, train tracks, stay on those train tracks. Stay on them, stay on them, stay on them, stay on, stay on. Go. If we can all have some positive impact on even just a couple of people, that effect multiplies. I want to be a bit faster, a bit harder. I'm sticking a defender in now. The England head coach is stepping in. We're going to play off here. We're going to play off here. Go, 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 go. Excellent decision. Love it. Finish. Hands, hands, hands. Go, 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 go. Working with the players in the men's team, I know they've cared deeply about the supporters, they care deeply about the sport in this country and the next generation. And I think any chance we have, any opportunity we have to influence positively the rugby in this country to grow, even if it's people that hopefully will be playing in the England team one day, or even if it's just people who get a bit more exercise or become part of a team, make great friends of this fantastic sport. That's part of the opportunity that today presents.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to the Allianz Stadium, Twickenham, to the global audience from Doncaster to the Dordogne and even as far as Dubrovnik. You're tuning in from everywhere, and you're very welcome on Rugby Pass TV and, of course, England Rugby's YouTube channel. You don't want to miss a minute of this. I've got Rugby World Cup winner Rachel Burford alongside me for a contest that England are edging 19 points to 12, but they'll see out the remainder of the match at just 14 after a red card to Manife Uwaboso. On balance, from the first half that we enjoyed, do you feel that the scoreline reflects the game, the contest?
Yeah, absolutely. I think both teams have had their moments in the first half, gaining that momentum, pressurising the other team, but both teams really struggling to hold on to it. It'll be interesting what was said in the changing rooms at half-time to both of these teams. Obviously, England may have to manage being a player down now for the remainder of this game. How they're going to play, maybe go more territorial. But there's plenty of excitement on that bench as well to unleash. Cullinan South, Alex Dombrandt, Jack Kenningham, all ready to come on, bring some energy into this game.
Antoine Astoy does as he's done on multiple occasions, kicks long and into the arms of Tom Willis, who will just eat that and all the meters up all day. He's full of venom in his carrying this afternoon in West London. A high claim from Leo Burdett, the uncapped back three replacement wearing 23. And a bit of confusion.
Just run around him.
See England get a soft penalty.
It's a good start. Good contest in the air. Forces France to not play on their own terms. And that miscommunication in the midfield.
Okay, thank you.
Just indecisive from El Dossio.
9's in.
Burdett seemingly on for Atisogbe, by the way. And he'll be called on defensively here as England launch through Guy Pepper, denied one of the great Premiership final tries by a TMO intervention a week ago. He's being overshadowed at the moment by his back row companions in Hill and Willis thus far. And England, well, stretching. It's Trevor Davidson, who has risen from the pine in the front row. And that is the most artful of touch finders from George Ford.
It's no surprise, is it? Managing the game really well, recognising that they haven't got any front football, they're going backwards, the double tackles, which is losing their momentum, so just thinks, right, let's turn them, put them into the corner and make them play out.
Line out circumvented, and Guillard leaping to claim. Smartly done by the French. And Legare just squeezes it across the touchline.
Thanks, Boxy.
George Ford's birth, you know, we've just watched the artistry of him there with the boot, and he's really someone who's felt the full fickleness of fans and media alike this season. One moment to blame for an average autumn, and the next, you know, lines of mission outcry from people. You know, you can't catch a break sometimes.
Number 1.
Yeah, sometimes that's how it goes, and unfortunately, you know, it hasn't gone his way at times, but he's been on fine form for his club. You know, so much of what came good of Sale this year was through that man, and he'll be relishing at the opportunity to go to Argentina and lead this side with Jamie George.
Number 1, underneath at the line out.
Jamie, good ball.
In the 22.
Are you happy? Yes.
Shot called.
Oh, interesting. Shot called, I guess. 14 men on the field. Scoreboard accumulation. A shrewd move.
Yeah, just probably need to manage this 40 minutes, don't they? It's going to be a lot of tired bodies when you're playing a player down. Take the 3 points on offer here. Have another look at that. Or not. But yeah, just take a bit of momentum out of the game. Give everyone a breather, reset, take the 3 points while they're on offer, reset and go again.
Well, Ford is 2 from 3 in conversions. The one that he missed was from this side of the uprights. And history, sadly for him and England, repeats itself. So the deficit remains 7 for the French. And it's interesting that the red card to Faye Boso has done anything but supercharge the French force. They've become far flatter, if anything. Ford shoots Carpenter off in pursuit of his high ball, and counter-rucking is really troublesome almost for France. Bit of link-up play with Duguid in the midfield, and all of a sudden the fluency of the French that was apparent from minute 1 seems to have deserted them. Real absence of organisational leadership as Le Gallec swipes his laces long to Ford. Plenty of hang time, maybe not the distance, but Carpenter claims having a good game. The Sharks fullback, so too Willis, who just uses a French defender as a speed bump. Well, the crossfield bomb causes troubles again for the French, and it's messy, but it's working for England right now.
Substitutions.
Well, speaking of bomb, I believe the French is l'équipe de bomb for that, as wholesale changes are made in the pack. Rabah Slimani makes way amongst the try scorer, Hugo Oladu. I'm just frantically looking for numbers on the backs of players who poured onto the field. Romain Tao Fifenua, one of them. Paul Malaise, who's been playing Pro D2 de Provence this season on loan from Toulouse. An outstanding endorsement of what he brings to the party, having not even played top 14 this year. And Cameron Woki, who many of you will be very familiar with, out of favour at the moment in France. He started every Rugby World Cup game. Ford hurriedly and inaccurately picks out Le Gallec, who wastes no time in punishing those in white to the tune of, what do you make that, 70 metres?
Yeah, super impressive. And you saw George Ford, as soon as he made the hit, he knows that he misjudged it. Started to sprint to that corner, knowing exactly the mindset from Le Gallec and what he can do on the boot. Straight look up, sees the space, and then the power to kick through.
Time off, please. It's okay, time's off. Don't worry, take your time. There's a couple of boys down as well.
Well, the weather sapping many a man out there. Ted Hill, he's had a big few weeks with Bath.
How long left?
In their treble campaign, Jamie George
on the 20-minute red?
riding high, having reclaimed the captaincy.
5 minutes.
He's been in with the Lions, hasn't he, Jamie George? And he's openly said
the rhythm.
he was taking notes in camp to try and employ on the Argentinians when they do travel to South America.
Time back on, please.
On Tuesday they fly. And if anything's to go by Los Pumas' performance last night against the Lions, it is going to be the sternest of examinations for this young England side. And it mirrors a tour of 2017, which was the making of a new national nucleus for England. The likes of Sam Underhill, the Curry twins.
Okay, use it.
Making their debuts. Ellis Genge only had a solitary cap when England last toured to play the Pumas. So this is a big summer. And likewise for France and the likes of de Guivalu, who can't quite claim that high ball. And the bitty nature at the moment is suiting 14-man England.
England scrum.
Yeah, it was a really good kick chase. Number of players in and around the French team just forcing that error as he's coming down. You heard Holly Davison saying there's 5 minutes left on the 20-minute red card. So England will be back to 15 shortly.
Hips, too good. Seconds. Tight. Too good.
Crouch. Bind.
Legal.
Up we come. Stay down. I will control the weight. I'm not seeing any overleaning. Reset.
Come on now, Eve. Come on, let's go. Go back. Come on, Eve. Let's go. Let's go now. Yes. Let's go now. Hips. Let's go. So good. Wait. Hey, I'm with you. Squeeze.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Second time.
France just can't seem to settle at scrum time, despite the fresh-looking front row that also includes Demba Bamba. And England will take these penalties all day.
It's not 1 or 2, it's the whole scrum is moving. Yeah.
I believe that style of kick, that touch finder, is known as doing a slade.
Okay, on the line. On the line.
Famously, all those many moons ago for Exeter in their semi-final against Saracens in the Premiership. It's some trademark to have in your left foot locker. And England are back, banging on the French defensive door. Full stretch, Pepper can't reel it in. It's mayhem. All the crossbars in play, and has Carpenter claimed another score? Carpenter thriving in chaos and bagging himself a brace at the home of English rugby.
Holly, team will check. Team will check. I want to check for knock-on by white 13 when the white 13 and blue 12 are competing for the ball.
Okay. So on-field decision is try. We're just checking potential knock-on by 13 in the midfield.
Correct.
Thanks.
What are you saying, Berth? Try or no try?
From that angle, it's really not clear and obvious that it's come off Henry Slade. That's a better angle to be able to get the right call here. It looks like his right hand gets to it.
Well, the question is does his right hand come here and knock it forward? Well, there's nothing conclusive there, is there?
I know it's tight, Mikey. Take your time.
Yeah, for me it hits his hand, Holly.
Okay, so we're saying...
Yeah, there is a touch by white 13, so we have a decision.
Okay, back to me.
To Holly, there is a knock-on by white 13. It does touch his hand and goes forward.
Okay.
So disallow the try and back for a knock-on.
Okay, no try. Yeah, knock-on by 13.
The Allianz Stadium gives its opinion on the TMO intervention from Mikey Adamson, but I think
guys,
on balance,
hold on the hit.
a few deep down would disagree, though.
No
The stern furrowed brows of the England coaching department may tell a different
I've said
tale.
to hold on the hit. Come on. Keep it further out.
Well, even though that's been chalked off, Joe Carpenter has had a fabulous season. He's started every Premiership match for Sale this season. He's only missed 67 minutes all season. And this is his third promising exhibition with 15 on his back, with a rose on his chest. And this is a promising demonstration in scrum power as well from this young England forward pack. Roebuck full of running, slaloming through the blue jerseys. There's a real verve to which England are attacking now. Ezekwe arriving on a lovely straightening line. Carpenter absolutely slotted. And then the pass asking too much of the fingertip stretch of Slade.
Great bit of intent, wasn't it, from the kick. Roebuck, seeing him work that right-hand angle. Huge tackle coming in on Carpenter, but just manages to get the ball away. But the pass to Slade just wasn't clinical enough to be able to exploit that outside channel.
That's the squeeze, boys. Yes. Give it to me again, Colsey. Hips. Let's go. Second. Let's go, Beardy. Got you. Come on, back here. Come on, back here.
Crouch.
You can just see there in the bottom hand side of you, well, you could have, of the camera there, Oscar Beard's just joined the team, so they're back to the full complement of 15.
Tight head, collapse. Tight head collapse.
Well, Oscar Beard, who is the nailed-on starter for Harlequins as far as 13 on his back goes.
When you're ready, Tim. I'll put White on the line. Line's yours, guys.
But there he is with 23, and he's installed himself on the left wing. He actually played quite a lot on the wing in the early days of his career. I say early days, he's still only 23 years old. But, you know, early days of Harlequins, deployed out there on the edge, very much sees himself, and I think everyone as a centre. And he's performed impressively for England A across the programme since it was rebooted
Out the side, then off the boot.
in February last year. France are at 6s and 7s, and England are sensing blood right now.
Stay here. Stay here. No way.
Hold in front, guys. On now.
And Beard gets his first touch in his 22. And he finds a very handy touch.
Yeah, it's a great touch from him. As you already mentioned, he's got great versatility, can play in the centre, can play on the wing, can manage that backfield there with Carpenter. Just you feel there's a bit more urgency in this England side. Getting off the line, really pressurising this French team, trying to force the errors, force them to kick it to you.
He can be pleased with what he's offered today, can't he?
Yeah, I think he's picked up his form, hasn't he? Been really direct, really physical, exactly what you need.
The England player has moved.
As your England number 8.
No obstruction. Onside.
France operating in some congested areas. touchline on there, right?
6.
LeGarrette goes for a quadruple caterpillar. And Beard shows that he's comfortable, rising high and claiming a high ball. Jamie George, plenty of industry from the co-captain. Alex Dombrandt, another Harlequin, is onto the field. And he's in pursuit alongside Beard. With pressure on Berdeur, who claims it sweetly. Oh, gorgeous offload. LeGarrette inside. No one will catch the man from Racing as he hits the Jets. Well, that's France to a T. Dorman, all half for 16 long minutes, but sizzling in 20 seconds and ruthlessly punishing England.
It was so good from Bardou just to keep the ball alive and to find Galenton, and then the inside support from LeGarrette. Knows exactly where it's opening up. Defensively, England have to fill those holes if Beard's going to go up and try and contest.
Shoulder straight and head back.
Okay.
55-22 on the clock.
We'll make sure that there's no head contact against Jamie.
Jamie George obviously protesting some head contact in there.
The scrum half converts his own score. He's off to La Rochelle next season to form a half-back axis with Antoine Astoy. And I'm not going to say he's a find because he's already arrived, but...
He's checking.
How many world-class scrum halves do France have?
Okay, Holly.
Hold.
Including that one there in his pomp.
Okay, Holly, team will check.
Yeah, there's no wonder that they're producing world-class scrum halves. But it looks like we are coming back for that Jamie George foul play.
So we're looking at potential foul play.
Blue 21.
By Blue 21.
That's the wisdom of 101 caps right there.
And this is before the try.
Taking the time to ask the question, to plant the seed in the officiating party's mind. And let's see what Jamie George thought he saw.
That's us at the screen, Mike.
Okay, so it's the clear coming in now. Number 20.
Yes, I can see that. I'll tell you what I'm seeing. It's a tucked shoulder into the clear, into the player on the ground. I'm not seeing it as a high degree of danger, but it meets the yellow card threshold. Okay. So I think that's a good question. Okay, so my initial view is that it's a tucked shoulder and then the arm comes. Mike, do you see that as a legal wrap or a tucked shoulder?
I'm not seeing it as a legal action.
Yeah.
I think the arm comes late, so I'm seeing that as always a legal action initially.
Yeah, so am I. So I'm not seeing it as a high degree of danger, but it does meet our yellow card threshold. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree.
So it'll be a yellow card to 21 blue and off-field review.
Agree.
So it's going to be no try as well. Because the act, okay, let me explain.
Well, that is some swing for England.
We have foul play by 21 blue. So it's going to be a yellow card and off-field review because it's always illegal. The wrap is late, and then it'll be no try because this happens before. Okay.
You won't take the guys, no?
Yeah, after the fact.
Well, they're going to have to get the number right here because it was
20.
Cameron Wackey wearing 20 who was fallen on his sword. He was due to wear 21. Cameron Wackey, and in his quest to get back into the good graces of Fabien Galtier, he has come up with a 10-minute sin bin act.
Put goal on the line. Line's going to be yours. 6.
France now with 14. England, the full complement. And on the doorstep of the 22. Off the top they go. Davidson almost gets in the way. Beard arrives from the blind side. Oh, it was a great ball and arrival from Don Brandt, but there was too much spice on the pass to hold. Atkinson, what's he trying to fashion? Astoy, across.
It was a shame that Don Brandt just couldn't hold on to that. We see him running those lines out the back so often in a Harlequin shirt and going through. Just there, just on the shoulder, not quite enough in front.
Wobbly drop clearance. Alex Don Brandt takes his knock-on frustration on the French defensive line, running it straight. Carpenter been pretty faultless today. Coles incredibly dynamic too. Started with 6 on his back in that European final. In fact, every second row out there for England has played back row in their time. Slick hands, super speed from Roebuck. He wants an offload but doesn't have the support. Numbers queuing up out wide. Slade to Don Brandt. He does precisely what he does, week in, week out across the road. He brings his stoop form to the Allianz, and England have a 4th try.
Well, that whole build-up started with that man, Alex Don Brandt, through the heart. Massive carry, getting them on the front foot. And then the work rate to get round the short side, recognise that France are light on numbers. And then recycling. George Ford, perfectly timely, weighted pass to Slade. This was the initial build-up. Roebuck on the inside. Looking for that offload, trying to keep the tempo in the game. And then there, the play back down the short side, picked off by George Ford and Slade. The two of the most experienced out there.
Time off for the water break.
It's not George Ford's side today, right of the uprights. But England have a cushion now to the tune of 12 points. Well, Slade had a bevy of bodies to choose from. He went to Don Brandt.
I just had some.
And the Queen's captain did the rest.
Yeah.
Well, you're really seeing the punishing conditions that these players are out in. It is leaden skied. A bit of blue is breaking through here. It's so close and humid. It is draining for these players, and it's an interesting 30 degrees, Berth is telling me by her weather app at the moment. And it's an interesting mix because some of these players, they haven't played in a while. You look at the Northampton players, they haven't played since that Cardiff final. Now, how good were these hands from England in clammy conditions, Berth?
Yeah, you could just see everybody on the same page, recognising, reloading after the first breakdown, to giving themselves options both sides of the breakdown. Little short pass from George Ford, just does enough to hold up the defender. And it's a 3-on-1, executed brilliantly by Henley Slade.
So Holly, we'll have a decision for the... So it will be upgraded to a 20-minute red card because it is always a legal action with not a high degree of danger.
Not a high degree?
Because it's always a legal action. If it was always a legal action and a high degree of danger, it would be a permanent red card. Because it's always a legal action with not a high degree of danger, it is a 20-minute red card.
Okay. Gia? decision back from the bunker for the whoever decision from the bunker is going to be upgraded because it's always an illegal act and we're not seeing as a high degree of danger. It's going to be upgraded to a red. 20-minute red. Because it's a shoulder card.
Cameron Rocky there.
Okay, time back on.
As it's an always illegal action, there won't be mitigation to be found. So it's been upgraded to a red card. So I see this final part of the game out now with 14 players on the field.
It was clumsy, if anything, wasn't it? You know, it wasn't high velocity or with malicious intent, seemingly. I think I see a number of those types of clear outs, but the positioning of George and unable to protect himself, probably feeding in to that decision. So
that's yours. Thank you.
It's only a day that I'm not sure that anyone expected would see 2 red cards. But here we are, and France will see out the remainder, well, the lion's share of the match with 14. A 20-minute red. Zekwe popped up, popped down, and Ford orchestrating and delivering to Don Brown. Berdur in a tussle with Roebuck. Ball bounces kindly for the French, and that is some jackal coming in from Seb Atkinson. He is all caught, isn't he?
Yes.
He's been brilliant. Just the work rate to get there and then to contest in the breakdown. It's a great initial carry from Don Brandt again. Gave Ford the platform to be able to execute his kick, and then that allows everybody around that kick to be able to do their job, put pressure onto the French. And then Atkinson in the middle of it, causing disruption.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Down and use the ball.
Smart hands, releasing de Gouival. Goodness me, some hit arriving. Guillard loses the ball. Rafi Quirk's on. First time with a rose on his chest since 2021, if you can believe.
Yes, ball is out.
Kenningham with a first carry. Spencer's still on.
Scrum advantage over, wait there.
So, Quirk maybe is in at fullback because Carpenter's made way. We saw him receiving some treatment.
Yeah, good, thank you.
To the back of his thigh.
Take a step, I'll get numbers.
And I tell you what, that is full-blooded from the Sale Shot scrum half.
How many?
Literally just used his body to be a speed bump to get him down. Yeah, he's set up on the right wing at the moment.
One in, one out. Small. Through the mark.
Well, the plaudits go to the disruptors of England who are making life messy for the French at the moment. They failed to have a really concerted period with ball in hand, haven't they, France? Obviously came up with that marvellous try that was chalked off for Le Garrec, but other than that, they haven't fired a shot since their second try.
And you've got to commend the effort from England, that they're trying to pressurise them. You can feel that there's energy coming off the bench as well. It's just forcing those errors on the French team.
Bind! Set!
1, 2, 3, squeeze!
No.
There we go.
2 is just stepping back.
Baptiste Jeannot is on at scrum half for France, by the way. But he won't get any ball to work with because Fisher's lost it in contact. Roebuck looks such a thoroughbred winger, doesn't he? Oh, the missed ball opens up the wide side, and Ted Hill runs like he's got 11 on his back. Beautiful pick-up from Gaiton. We haven't seen enough of Emilien Gaiton for France this game. He is a fabulous prospect at outside centre.
Yes, 9.
With just a glimmer of his skill set with that silky pick-up under pressure. Jonot. Slade wants to claim it for himself. Oh, and he lassos the French scrum half, who looked to have feathered it forward as he went to the deck, but Jonot gets away with one.
Okay, 9.
He huffs and puffs his way to the back of that artificially extended ruck, and it's a tricky kick for Ford. And I think the whole of the Allianz willing France to counter.
Out! Advantage.
Lost forward from Ford. France are on here if they can get it wide. The ball, too much of a threat. Gaiton collects, offloads.
Play on. Scrum advantage is over.
Where do they go here, France? De Guivalu, isolated, locked on, dispossessed. And Quirk now with a chance to drive the tempo. Head up, George is there. Flips it out the back. And now Roebuck's after this. Fiku can only watch as the ball tumbles beyond the touchline. I think it was passed back in, so no 50-22. But again, George Ford just steering the English ship with his right foot.
Yeah, exactly. It's just such a shame that it just rolled on out.
2.
It's a brilliant turnover, wasn't it, from Don Brandt?
On the line, guys.
And Beard in there, piling the pressure in the breakdown.
1 second, we still have a medical. Hang on.
But Jamie George isn't even off the park. An Englander a go. Theo Dan's come on somewhere in all that.
Okay, 9, use it.
Let's go. Hey, cozy.
And Jonot, who plays his rugby for Les Jonards.
Thank you.
Finds touch.
France have been under pressure for the last 5-10 minutes. That's a really good clearance for the young one. Just Don Brandt with that pick-up, one-handed scoop off the floor.
Sophisticated shapes being offered in the midfield. Roebuck mops up the mess. Slade puts his foot down but can't quite glide free of the hard-working cover. Alexandra Fischer with the tackle, and then France in transition. Jonot. Well, there's no one at home in the backfield. Oscar Beard looking a little leggy. Tixeron after him. And the utility replacement back gets swallowed by the French open side. This game not done yet.
Use it.
France 12 adrift, but a try now changes things.
Yes, 9.
Spencer plumps for pragmatism and sends it clear and into the stands. Now this is an interesting change coming up here. As we see the long booming kick and the hard work of Oscar Beard.
Beard does really well, doesn't he, to get back there. See a lot of tired legs and bodies out there.
Advantage early.
Nick Ezekwe off, Chandler Cunningham South on, and right into the thick of things. France, though, are rocking and rolling and taken to the deck in timely fashion. Demba Bamba arrives. Fiku out the back. Berder all alone. Bar to Guivalu. Cunningham South, but the whistle goes.
That was such an important tackle by Rafi Quirk. Doesn't just chop down low, wraps the player up, wraps the ball up.
And Cunningham South, they're almost snaffling the loose ball. Very interesting. He's come on for Nick Ezekwe. He is a back row by trade. He has played second row in his time. There's no other recognised second row on the English bench, which would lead you to believe, do England have designs for the 5-round back row to maybe make that shift forward into lock?
Well, I think we saw it, didn't we, in the Six Nations. He came on against Wales, had a really good game in not what he would probably call his first choice position, but to have that interchanging player being able to go from the across the back five, only going to work in your favour.
Well, chatting to a French colleague on the gantry here earlier, Fabien Galtier is of the same opinion. He referred to it as polyvalent, which is French for multi-purpose players, as I understand, and a number of these French back row and second row, the likes of Michael Guillard, adept at that, and Chandler Cunningham South, so too. In fact, all of the second rows and back rows for England. Oh, goodness me.
Dummy throw.
Look up Coach Killer online and you see a video of that double pump on the throw 5 metres out.
Yeah, really frustrating, because you felt like that was a moment for France to get themselves back into this.
That's on the 15. Okay, that's going to be
time ticking in England's favour as they lead by a dozen.
6. Get him out the front, Sammy.
And for France, the second time it's happened in that area. We've seen how devastating their maul can be, and it feels like such a shame that they've got too complicated when all they've really needed to do is claim the ball
backwards once
and throw their big bodies at the task. Fiku just building some form after a tricky season at Racing and a broken thumb earlier in the year. He's going to be key down in New Zealand. By and large, there'll be no Toulouse players there because they're into the top 14 final. Galtier has said he'll pick a maximum of 5 players from the finalists of the top 14 to go to New Zealand, and even then he's going to be bearing in mind the number of minutes they've played across the season. You think of guys like Thomas Ramos, you think of all the Bordeaux players who not only, well, they're not in the final yet, they've got the semi this evening, but they've also won a European Cup. That is so many minutes of attritional rugby.
How many?
In the top 14, about a 30-game campaign.
6.
So it really is going to be next generation stuff for France, and this is going to be an experience, a character building clinch. 5 metres out, 5 minutes to go, trailing by 12, desperate for a try to get them back into the contest. A dart from Jeannot, denied. Bodies everywhere. 1, pumping drive from France and so close to the pain. English arms everywhere. A double blast, no decision yet. Have England done enough?
Time off. Mike.
Go ahead, Holly.
My on-field decision is try. I just want to make sure that it's not held up initially before grounding.
So the on-field decision, try.
Check the ball not held up initially. Stand by.
Thank you.
You can see the ball there. The ball's definitely
what do you think,
ground.
It's pretty close, if not conclusive, inconclusive.
So if you have the ball,
well, you can see the ball there. It's whether or not it's just got on the line. From this angle, it looks like it has.
Okay, so back to referee, you have a decision. So you may award the try. The ball is on the ground and on the line.
That's a really important score for France there. You know, 6 minutes on the clock, young group of players coming back and staying the fight in this game still, with time on the clock still. That'll be a really pleasing part about this for the coaching team from France, to see them staying in the fight and taking the moment.
And a crucial kick for Antoine Astoy. Seven points the deficit. This conversion means that France could snatch victory with a late converted score. And Astoy splits the uprights. And it is game on for Les Bleus in Le Demi-Crunch.
It's a brilliant strike, wasn't it? Ice cold from him.
France claim it through the monstrous Michael Guillard, who wears a jolting hit as he looks to exit the 22.
Okay, 9, use it.
5 points the difference. France just showing a ruthless edge. And utterly clinical when opportunities have presented themselves. They just haven't gone away.
Thank you.
And now, this will be a test of their character, their belief of whether they can come back here at the Allianz. Whilst for England, it is whether they can repel a late French assault. And they have their pockets picked at the line-out. Fisher barrels forward across the 10. Astoy goes to the skies. Slade is under it, and he's swatted by Berdeur, but cleanly and bravely taken at pace. Spencer to Dan, just explodes into the shoulders of the French.
Not yet. Yes.
The confidence of Spencer to box without the defences around him. Good competition, spilt forward into the hands of Don Brandt, but it's already gone forward off Cunningham South.
I thought he was put onside.
France will have the put in.
Do we have an offside at all there, Ben? So we think live, we think that after he's touched it, he's then played onside. So it's no, it's just a scrum. Okay? Yeah. Time off, please. Okay, thank you.
A number of ricochets. Quirk's shoulder, Cunningham South's hands.
Sorry. Good height, keep it off the ground, stability once the ball's in.
But the net result is France, who remember have been playing with 14 all this time, with Cameron Watkey off the field, and now back to the full complement. The Canadian Frenchman Tyler Duguay reinstated to the field with 5 on his back.
Come on.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
And a penalty, the first at scrum time all game to the French. And suddenly, the Mexican waves have ground to a halt in the stadium, and the nerves of players and supporters in white alike beginning to jingle and jangle.
Yep, that's
Because one last French assault is coming.
7, 6, 6, 6. Drop 1. Oh, sorry, mate. Keep him out of the front, Ben. Ball in the 5.
The multi-purpose man. The polyvalent. Nestled in the nucleus of a blue drive. Duguay, the Canadian bruiser, makes a dent, and Jeannot just keeps the fringes honest.
Okay, advantage.
And penalty advantage for France too. They can attack without consequence.
Advantage.
They know whatever happens, they'll come back. England must defend for their lives. But the meters are coming easy from the French, who are emboldened by the prospect of a revenge victory at the Allianz.
No advantage.
On the 22, outside the 22.
Well, how about that? The French
No arms.
giving themselves another lifeline here.
Number 12.
I think it was Atkinson's there. Been done for a no-arms tackle, just throwing his body into the player. Big moment for France.
Okay, boys,
England need to keep their discipline, be composed.
The final stage of the audition for the 2 touring parties. New Zealand, the destination for Les Bleus. Argentina and Los Pumas awaiting England. Who will go with the taste of victory on their lips? England infringe again, and once more they must survive a French battery, knowing that a penalty is already coming their way. Now it's Jacobus van Tonder, the South African-born back row. Jeannot just powers on through. A carry belying his size. Demba Bamba. Now England. A dish to taste of pick and go. Oh, it squirts free, and it's almost there for the French back row. Ticheron. They've wriggled forward. They've wriggled close. They've wriggled to victory. Wave after wave of blue jersey crashing upon the English shores. And eventually, it is the gargantuan frame of Romain Tawa-Fifenua with a levelling try and a cinch of the conversion to snatch the match.
It's really tough, isn't it, for England on their line, trying to defend wave after wave, and he nails it.
Astoy, with the minimum of fuss, wraps up a French smash and grab in Le Demi-Crunch, trailing by 12. They played 20 minutes of the second half with 14 after a Cameron Waukee red card. But they've dug deep and they will board the flight to New Zealand with a Twickenham experience that has resulted in victory in the most dramatic of fashion. And Rachel Burford, your Champagne Bollinger player of the match.
Yeah, right to the wire, that one, unbelievable. But Nolan Legrac, he was so good in the 60-65 minutes that he played, really instrumental around the park. The lovely link-up play to get that score, to get his team back into it. So he is our Bollinger player of the match.
The last one?
Nolan Legarec, the Champagne Bollinger player of the match. And arm in arm with William Servat, one of the great French hookers. There is some coaching team there. Sean Edwards among them, who has reinvented France's opinion of defence. In fact, speaking to him yesterday at the captain's run, he spoke about living and working in France like the glory days of playing league in Wigan. He said that everywhere you go, people just talk rugby. The country is living and breathing it. It is a renaissance. Participation rates better than ever, a refound national pride in the game. And Les Bleus, rather remarkably, emerging on top in this non-cap international that had all the hallmarks of test intensity and quality from the first blast of the whistle to the last bell.
Yeah, there's so many great moments from both teams. You know, we recognise this is an uncapped test and it's preparing these players for the tours that are up and coming, so it is a massive learning opportunity. But super important seeing France, how they came back into that game, never gave up, even though England looked out of sight. And to take it at the death is something is really hard to swallow as a player when you've felt like you've done enough to win the game, and then in the dire moments, it's taken away from you. But lots of new, exciting blood out there, getting a real taste of what it's like to wear the England shirt and perform here at Twickenham.
For tries, red cards, whatever you're into, we've got the lot, because it was a game full of drama and action. France very much starting the brightest. England were enterprising in the opening minutes, but penalties back-to-back for England proved costly as France navigated their way into the 22. And it was a hallmark of the match that each entry, they emerged by and large with points, clinical, and this probably the creative highlight as far as the French went from Atisogbe.
Yeah, it was just a brilliant transition from defence into attack. Everybody really aware, but England struck back very quickly after that. And you just felt them starting to build their momentum here with their pick and go and their power game. Forwards going to work. A number of England players have definitely put their hands up, and the recipient of this try, Tom Willis, who's been in fine form for the club all season, brings that form into an international.
But this was England getting the bit between their teeth, wasn't it? Atkinson had a couple of bright moments. Cole's careering round the corner. And that was a challenge that not only led to a red, but it could echo into the summer as well from Faye Waboso. He incredibly ugly challenge that was upgraded to a red, and you wonder, will he be available for those Argentinian tests now, Rachel?
Yeah, well, it will obviously have to await the fate of the decision from the disciplinary conclude. But England managed that period without an extra player on the field really, really well. Managed to get over there with Carpenter. And this was Cameron Woki on Jamie George.
Well, it was a game that really ebbed and flowed, and one that England had the lion's share of dominance in the second half, and the hands looked simple. It was all as a result of the industry of the rest of the team, but France seemed dead and buried. But again, the indiscretions from England, the penalties compounded, gave France that lifeline, and they managed just to force their way to get enough of the ball on the chalk. And then this, the final act, the try from Romain Fifanua, tight to the right upright, that would leave Antoine Astoy with little trouble in clinching the match. And, well, a sobering send-off for England, Rachel.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough review, isn't it? There's moments where we saw absolute brilliance, you know, across the pack. Great to see Willis out there playing so well, carrying hard, exactly what you want to be able to see from him. There's moments across the park that England will take away as positives, good moments, but there is also areas of critical moments that they need to look at. They had control in those last few minutes, and then a penalty led to another infringement, and then all of a sudden they're on the back of losing the game instead of taking the win.
Right, so defeat for England, victory for France, and probably a disappointed England co-captain Jamie George.
Jamie, a difficult afternoon, obviously, losing so late on, really testing conditions. What did you make of the team's performance out there, though? Yeah,
I just said to the team then, I was really proud of a lot of what we did. I think what it showed was we've got a lot of potential. I think it shows the difference when we're right on it and when we're not. We allowed France back into the game, and we've got a lot to fix up with our maul. In terms of that response in particular, sort of a couple of drives down in the first 10 minutes, 24 unanswered points, to batter through 14 men as well for a short period. And, like, you know, that's the bare minimum of what this team should be about: character, fight, spirit, all that kind of thing. So really, really pleased with that. I was really pleased with some of the big performances, younger players stepping up. Guy Pepper, I thought, was outstanding today. So really exciting that those guys are going to now kick on and hopefully have a big impact in Argentina too. Talk to us about the conditions out there, because you look a bit of a broken man as he came off. Yeah, it was hot. Yeah, it was very hot. We were very well looked after by our backroom staff, but yeah, we had to dig in at stages. There was a couple of long phases there, which are hard work. Good preparation, though, of course. A long tour, will be away from a little one in a few weeks, but the team looks in a good place in some of the performances today. They're in a good place. Look, we wanted to win today. We always want to win whenever we put on an England shirt, so we're disappointed with that, but like I said, it was a good start. It was a good start. You know, we haven't been together for a huge amount of time. I only came in on Wednesday, so you know we've got a lot of growth. We saw how good Argentina were last night, but I think there's a lot to be excited about. Jamie, thank you for your time. Go let you enjoy the little one. Bye.